Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning. Hi, Sharon, how are you? Hi, Beach, nice to see you. I'm doing well, thank you. I hope everybody's having a good Saturday. Good morning. How are things going today, everybody? Well, I'm glad that you're here, Sharon. You know what? I've been really busy this week. I haven't been on live as much, but I was happy that I could pop on right now and see what everybody's up to, read some cards, chat about the energies. Hi, Anna. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you, Jax. I really appreciate it. Bonjour, Mathieu. I haven't forgotten about you, Matt. I was just thinking about my schedule, actually. I will be in touch. Hi, Raphael. How are you? Oh, good. I'm glad. I'm from Toronto, Canada. Hi, Fire. Oops, as I'm dropping cards here. Merci, Mathieu. What's the advice today? Well, we'll find out in a moment. I'm just getting ready. Hi, Rovief. How are you? Hi, Anne. Nice to see you. Hi, Shelby. I'm well, thank you. You're going out of town for your friend's wedding? Very nice. Sounds fun, Anne. Enjoy yourself. Am I French? No, I'm Canadian, but we have a bilingual country, so I speak French. I teach French. Oh, thank you, Deepak. I appreciate it. House. I don't say a boot. I don't say a boot. About. Hi, Mike. How are you? Nice. So what is the energy for everybody today? What's the word of the day? How are you feeling? Oh, wow, Anne. Something happened to your tire? You're doing well? Hi, Mehmet. How are you? Hi, Amit. You feel confused, detached? Life in Canada? It's all right. You feel unsettled. You know what's interesting? I can't believe we're already going to be talking about full moon energy again. It feels like we just had a full moon. We have a full moon in Aries coming up on October 6th. We're going to be doing the full moon Zoom on Friday, October 3rd. So already next week, end of the week, we're going to get together and talk about the energies. It already feels, you know, like a lot of change is happening, you know, restlessness. So Brian, I'm on 3 different platforms at once. I'm on Instagram, YouTube, and TikTok all together. Thank you. You're feeling all right? Is the weather intenser, Mike? I haven't actually seen anything. It's your son Zachary's birthday. Well, happy birthday to Zachary. You feel wonky today? Good afternoon. Hi, Nick. I'm from Canada. Well, let's get into the cards. Let's kind of see what's going on today. Il fait beau ici. Oui. Here too. Here too. It's a beautiful day out. Hi, Jennifer. And then hi, Jen, right after Jennifer, right at the same time. Hi, Lisa. How are things in Florida today? Oui, beaucoup de soleil ici. Oui. It's a beautiful sunny day here. All right, current energy today. Oh boy, trust the process. No surprise, no surprise. Oh, no way, Mike, I didn't know that. I send you positive vibes for the weather. This is a trust the process. You're welcome. Trust the process. Right now, if you're feeling anxious or wonky, like Anne just said, you know, all you can do right now is trust that everything is going to work out exactly the way that it's supposed to. Hi, Senorita. How are you? I am from Toronto, Canada. Yeah, we have very similar weather, Matt. You're right. Oh, soulmate energy. Maybe this is some specific messaging, but whoever is feeling the lovey vibes today, it's telling you to trust the process in regards to somebody who feels like a deep soul connection. How are you, Arya? What was that deck, Leah? This is the Groovy Tarot, and then this one is the Heart's Hidden Secrets Oracle. It's not a ruby specifically. It's just it's a crystal necklace that I always wear. You're welcome. So if any of you are questioning your love life today, this is telling you to trust the process. Tamana, I can't do that specifically right now. But if you'd like a personal reading or a private reading. Hi, Laura, how are you? So let's see, what else do we need to know? Oh, the lion energy. Maybe this is for a Leo, or you're dealing with a Leo or somebody with Leo placements. But it's all about strength, having the strength to push through and trust the process. Hi, Christine. Oh, it's so hard sometimes to have the strength to trust and let it unfold, right? That's really all we can do, is just let things unfold. I mean, you know, I've been saying trust the process for like 5 years now, online. Hi, Robin. And what else can we do? More than ever, we have to make sure that we let things unfold. So let's see, what else do we need to know? So you're asking, will the ex call tonight? And I say this to you with love. If you're trying to manifest a specific person or a phone call, you're trying to control things. You're trying to force the energy. And when you try to force the energy, you don't get what you want. So it all depends on where you're putting your energy. If you're putting the energy into you, you have a good chance of something coming towards you. If you're constantly wondering when, then you're not going to manifest the things that you're looking for. Hi, Jen. How are you? It has been forever. Nice to see you. I'm glad to see you here. Hi, Arush. How are you? No, I'm Canadian, Jelsing. Hi, Renata. How are you? So the potential or challenge is, interesting. This is the Emperor energy, Smokey the Bear. Maybe that's significant for somebody. Amazing. Good for you, Jen. So, okay, let me answer that question. Okay, the question is, when people on social media say they made a checklist for their perfect mate and he just appeared out of nowhere, is that real? Well, they basically say, make a list of all the things you want in a person and be those things, and you will attract it. You can make a checklist of things that you want in an individual, but if you start saying, it has to be this person, it has to be this person, it has to be this person, I know it's this person, there's no other possible person, it has to be this, then you are trying to control everything. The universe gives you what you need, not what you want, right? When you're wanting something, you have to remember that wanting is telling yourself that you don't have it, which means you're in lack. So if you are exuding the energy of something that you're looking for, then you're going to attract it. So you want the energy of a type of person. But if you're trying to control it by saying it has to be him, it has to be her, it has to be them, whoever, it's not going to work. And I know that there are ways, as in law of assumption. The only thing is, though, is that your self-concept has to be on point. If your self-concept is not on point, then nothing's going to work for you. That's why you like affirmations. Like, they should be general. I don't think anything should be like, it is this person, it is that person, it's this, because that's trying to control something. So, but anyways, the potential or challenge here is making power moves. Like, nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you're not doing things to spark new energy or to have new things in your life, then nothing's going to change. Okay? So let's take a look at what we need to know about this Emperor energy. Conflict. Somebody might be conflicted right now about making a move or debating what's best right now. Are any of you in that situation where you're like, oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? How do I do this? You know, now is the time to be decisive. Make a decision of whatever it is that you got to do and see where it takes you. But if you're afraid, you know, and you're just sort of sitting there in limbo, you're going to sit there and wait. Amazing, Jen. I'm excited for you. Hi, Brandolyn. How are you? Hi, buddy. You took a jump and started a podcast. Good for you, Christine. I'm happy for you. The challenge here is envy. Look, when people see you making moves, they like to see you do well, just not better. Be careful of any, like, I don't know, evil eye around you right now, or people not wanting you to really push yourself. Anybody who tries to hold you back, it's not your person. It's not your people. You know, I always talk about the difference between jealousy and envy. You know, I'm one of those people that never says, oh my gosh, I'm so jealous. Like, oh, I'm jealous. I love that car, or I love that ring, or I love that whatever. Because using the word jealous implies that you kind of hate somebody for what they have. Envy is a little bit different in the sense that it's like saying, I'm really envious of that. I would like to have what you have. I don't hate you for it, but I like what you have. I would love to have that. You know? So that's why I typically don't use the word jealous. I would never consciously say, "Oh, I'm so jealous of that." No, because I'm not. I'm not jealous. I'm happy for people when good things are occurring. So always remember your words. Your words mean something. They hold energy. So let's see what we should focus on today. You feel like somebody's watching you? Could be. Maybe that's because you're making moves and you're doing new things. So what should we focus on today? Yeah, somebody's in the overthinking. The Eight of Swords. The illusion of mental entrapment. Oh, thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it. So I would just say, if you're in overthinking mode right now, you've got to find ways to find peace. So let's see, what should we focus on with this deck? Longing. Yeah, somebody's overthinking. You know, we started off by talking about love. You know, like somebody is like needing to trust the process. And if you're overthinking and you're longing and you're focusing on that chasing, that energetic chasing, you're going to have more distance, more separation, even though separation is really an illusion. You know? So just be careful with where you're focusing your energy. Like, people don't realize that when you're obsessively thinking about somebody, okay, especially from a place of lack, it's like you're chasing, and they feel that. Hi, Pickles. And they feel that. It's like a subconscious thing. So the more you energetically chase someone, the more it goes the other direction. You've got to have things going on in your life, spark new energy in your world, do new things. Yeah, you can think about a person here and there, but if you're focusing all your attention on someone else versus yourself, you're going to be waiting. There's the moon. So I talked about the full moon Zoom that that is happening this Friday night, as in like next week. We're going to be talking about the full moon in Aries. Aries energy is so fiery, you know, and that's that emperor energy, actually. No wonder we talked about the emperor just now, because that means like being bold, trusting, taking a leap of faith. I know, another full moon already. Like, where's the time going? It's really flying right now. So there are new cycles. Yeah, you're spent from eclipse season. Totally get it. Totally get it. Let's take a look at the recent past. Yeah, Nine of Swords, worry and anxiety. Where's the overthinking and the anxiety coming from? You know, for those of you that feel that, let me know in the comments, like, where is it coming from? Like, what are you nervous about? What are you overthinking? What's got your brain all worked up? Hi, Sandy, how are you? Karma, cause and effect. If I do this, that will happen. Your current situationship. Well, if somebody's not coming correct, not showing up consistently, then you have to ask yourself, what do you want? Is the car in the driveway? You know, I've been repeating that a lot lately because it's something that I used to talk about all the time. Is the car in the driveway? If somebody's consistently there and showing up and working towards a common goal, which is the relationship, then that's great. But if somebody's very hot and cold and they can't follow through, you can't wait. Your ex was toxic, now this one is toxic too. Okay, so my advice, Brandolyn, is then you have to look, and I say this to you with love and respect, you have to look at the common denominator. What are you allowing? What are you willing to accept and not willing to accept? So much of this is about boundaries. You know what's interesting? I saw a video today on TikTok, and I wish I remember the creator. And it was this beautiful young girl crying about how she can't get over her ex. She just says she just can't. She just can't. No matter what she does, she can't get over this person. And she said that basically she's afraid that she's never gonna love like this, probably ever again. And it breaks my heart to see videos like this, because the reality is it's not about the person that we're crying over. It's about our soul trying to wake us up. It's about making boundaries. Usually, if there's something going wrong in the personal life, as in situationships or issues with love, more than likely it's because of overgiving, lack of boundaries, and this probably stems from something long before this relationship ever was in one's life. It's this idea that we're given or sort of like thrown into a situation where we have to put ourselves first, and we have to find our boundaries, our self-love, right? Was in a situationship for 3 months, consistent every day, really fun and deep. Then he disappeared for 2 weeks, then came back and he apologized, saying he was getting emotionally attached. Now slow text. Exactly. So Anne-Marie, this is probably somebody who's experiencing avoidance, who probably has some form of avoidance, whether that's dismissive avoidance or fearful avoidant. Hot and cold like that, running away from emotions, comes from trauma, comes from, you know, again, traumas, triggers, and hurts of the past. People don't necessarily run away because they don't love you or care about you. They run away because they care too much and they don't know how to process. You're exactly right, Brandolyn. That's my point. That's my point. You know, a lot of this is not about that somebody won't let us go, or that there's such an intensity that it's impossible to meet anybody else. I want to remind you, oh, hi, Becca. I'm sending you love. There are 8 billion people in this world, okay? Please do not tell me that there is only one person in this world for you. There are many people who can be your person, right? Obviously, compatibility matters. You know, life circumstances matter, but two people have to choose to want to make something happen. You can't force anybody, But there are many people that you could be happy with. It's about making a conscious choice, though, between those two people to go that direction. Thank you, my friend. So, whenever I see these videos of people crying about how they can't let go no matter what they do, I know the feeling, but if I can move my life forward, then any of you can. You're welcome, Anne-Marie. If she was scared or what, but we fought because she had family issues and I was about to lose my job. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. So yeah, there's this energy in the air a lot lately of people just saying that they can't do something or they can't move on, And I had this example, in the classroom recently where I had a student tell me they're just not good. They're just not good at this. They just can't memorize this. And I'm hearing all these people lately saying, I just can't. Like, I just can't let go. I just can't, whatever. And when you're telling yourself this over and over and over again, you're just reinforcing a story, because it's easier to stay in this kind of conflict in order to keep oneself from being ready, if that makes sense. Because it takes a lot of guts, it takes a lot of consistency and time and effort to work through this, right? It doesn't happen overnight. So Christine just said 16-year-old me was that girl. I feel it really hard. I totally get it. Yeah. But everything is hard. That's the point. It's hard. Nobody ever said this would be easy. Hi, Mir. How are you? It's a fear of the unknown, but I mean, like, what do we have to lose? Yeah, a comfortable pain. People, what's funny? People always want to leave the comfort zone, right? The comfort zone's not so comfortable. Everybody wants to make moves, but, or the comfort zone's just not so comfortable. Why would we want to leave it if it was so comfortable? Thank you. Yeah, nobody said it was easy. And song lyrics that ring true. It certainly is not easy, but it is doable. Anybody who says they can't do something is in a limiting belief and just making more of the same, repeating it, reinforcing it. People have to really want to change. If you like what you're doing, then keep doing it. If you don't like what you're doing, you got to find a way, even when it's difficult, even when it's uncomfortable. There's the ship. 2 cards came out, the ship and envelope. The ship is about moving forward, and the envelope is about a surprise. It's like, something is unfolding here, and what's unfolding is moving forward, right? Oh, thank you, Brandon. I really appreciate it. I try. I really, really try to help as much as I can. It actually breaks my heart when I see those type of videos where people are crying desperately because they don't know how to make changes, or they say they can't do something. Like, nothing pains me more than somebody who says they can't. I just can't, So let's take a look at what's the strength position today. Because I've been through some pretty tough things in my life. I've been at the lowest of low. And when I tell you the lowest of low, I've been at the lowest of low. I know what it feels like when your heart is completely shattered in a million pieces. I know what it feels like to be like lower than the ground, sunk into the bottom. But at the same time, if you got to make it or break it, you've always got to make it. What choice do you have? What's the lowest? You mean like specifically? What have I been through that? Oh man. I mean, what list could I give you? My wonderful marriage starts to crumble. My ex-husband has a horrendous affair. The woman came after me because she wanted my life. She wanted to steal everything that I had. She was nasty, awful, hurtful. My grandmother was one of the most difficult women you'll ever meet in your entire life. No boundaries. I love my parents, but I didn't know how to make boundaries and say no. I had them living with me on and off. My marriage crumbling. My grandmother fell, broke her hip, had a heart attack. My grandfather busted her out of the hospital. I had to fix all of that, get her back into the hospital. A year later, she fell, broke her hip, had a heart attack, died of the same experience that she previously survived. My grandfather couldn't live without her, and tried to, you know what, 3 times after he lost her because he couldn't live without her. I was taking care of him. My dad had dementia and Parkinson's and was suffering. My mother was caregiving for him. My career as a teacher was struggling because I wasn't happy anymore. And then I decided to leave my 18-year career and start this online business. I moved twice. My father passed away. My grandfather passed away that I was taking care of. And yeah, I mean, like, I'm sure there's things in the mix. Hi, Megan, how are you? Yeah, Winona, it was tough. I mean, there are a lot of people maybe who follow me who don't know my story. A lot of people do who've been with me for a long time, and maybe I don't talk about it all the time anymore. But I've been through, like, when I tell you I know what the lowest of low feels like, I know what the lowest of low is. I'm very happy to hear that, Nancy, that you've been at that low, but you've picked yourself up, you know? So, hi, Audra. Nice to see you. That was more like a castle moment than a tower. My whole life, like when I tell you, Jennifer, my whole life like fell to pieces. Like really, when I tell you fell to pieces. Yeah, it was crazy. But you know, honestly, it was the best thing that could have ever happened to me because I am now the happiest I've ever been. I have no regrets. I would do it all over again. There's nothing in me that says I would ever want to go backwards. Like there's 0 to 0 to 0, like multiple millions of zeros or O's on that zero that would ever make me want to be there again, you know? So just remember that as humans, we're going to experience tower moments or castle moments or bad things, but it's how you respond to those bad things. If you just lay down and let it all, you know, continue, then at a certain point, that's on you. Thank you, Sam. I appreciate that. If you're willing to get up and make the changes, I have worked consistently for probably the last 10 years of my life at being in this position. So whenever you're frustrated, thinking that it's not happening quickly enough, ask yourself where you are on this journey. Are you making things complicated? Are you getting in your own way? Are you afraid? Are you keeping yourself stuck? Are you putting walls up? Because that's the issue. You know, we can sit and sulk and be in victim mode. I could have easily been a victim and said, look what happened to me. Look what they did to me. Look what she did to me. Look what this, like, look, I take responsibility for everything. I put myself in a lot of those situations because I didn't know how to make boundaries. The majority of issues that you may be experiencing or that people are experiencing is lack of boundaries, overgiving, and lack of self-love. And creative, I'm really proud of you. It takes time. Yeah, Nancy just said, I agree, Kelly. I've grown and I'm the happiest divorced person. Yeah, me too. Me too. These are all good things for us to go through, even though they may feel absolutely crappy. Remember that, you know, good luck is bad luck and bad luck is good luck. Sometimes you think something is so great, like you've hit the jackpot, and then it ends up being like the worst thing ever, you know? And then sometimes like the worst event you could ever experience actually turns out to be the best thing that ever happened, you know? And that's how I look at it. I may have gone through some really, really shitty experiences. However, it made me better. It made me stronger. It made me happier. I mean, do you think I've enjoyed putting myself out there nonstop over and over and over and over and over again? But right now, I thrive on that. I will never stop putting myself out there. I will never stop finding my fulfillment. Because fulfillment doesn't come from somebody just like falling out of the sky, you know, like showing me love. It comes from me getting better. Every time I get better at something, I meet better people every single time. So if that gets better, it can get even more better, right? So, oui, je parle français. But yeah, it's It's something that you really have to think about. Like, are you getting in your own way? Are you willing to be open? And I mean truly open, not just perceived openness. So many people come to me and say, yeah, I'm open and I'm ready, but not really. Because if you were really open and ready, you wouldn't go backwards and do the things that you used to do. Hi, Jen. How are you? Happy Saturday. So let's see. What's the strength position? Let's see, the Seven of Wands. Are you on the offensive or are you in the defensive? Are you ready to stand up? Are you ready to do different? Or are you in self-preservation, as in like a wounded animal in a corner, you know? Hi, Shiggy, how are you? You have to ask yourself, when are you ready? When, and here's the thing, everybody sits there and says, well, I'll feel when I'm ready. I'll feel, hi Tia, I'll feel when I'm ready. No, you won't. It'll never feel right. It will never feel right. It's a decision. It's a decision. Like, I'm ready to try this and I'm going to see where it goes and I'm going to trust the process. But if you're waiting on a feeling, you're never going to feel ready. Who's ever ready? Think of becoming a parent. Now, I'm not a parent, but think about it. Is anybody ever ready to be a parent? Jen, you read my mind. We said it at the same time. It's like having children. You'll never be ready enough. Just do it. Yeah. So let's see what else we need to know about the Seven of Wands. Commitment. What's your commitment? How committed are you? How badly do you want the new beginning? Exactly, Jen. But yeah, it's a decision. And like Nancy just said, you got to decide to pick yourself up and move forward, even when it's difficult. So let's see what else we need to know. Scales, equal giving and receiving and balance. Look, if something's not balanced, okay, then it's not worth it. If you're overgiving, and overdoing and problem solving and like catering to everybody else, nope, not worth it. Don't do it. It's just amazing how as a society we're taught to overgive, and I see it various ways. You know, one in particular is when I'm watching TV and I see commercials that really manipulate. I mean, that's marketing, right? That's like marketing 101. But like the manipulation of buy this gift so that they love you. You know, this Mother's Day, buy this for your mother. And I'm not saying don't appreciate your mother, but you don't have to spend a lot of money in order to get that appreciation or that love, right? Hi, Bob. How are you? You know, or Valentine's Day or, you know, Christmas. There's always this sort of like, if you're not buying this, you're not showing love. And I get that's the point of marketing, is to get people to spend money. But at the same time, you know, overgiving does not make people love you. Bonsoir, Paul. So Brad just asked, how should I walk away? How do you walk away from someone? You make the decision. You do what's right for you. It's like saying, I love you, but I love myself more. Do you love yourself enough to walk away? Hi, Vinny. I'm glad, Nancy. I appreciate that. I try so hard to share those lessons. I really do. Because I've learned that overgiving was the worst thing I could have ever done. It didn't help me at all. All it does is it puts expectations out there for people to love us the way we do things. I think we always assume that if we do something a certain way, if we give a certain way, we expect other people will do that for us in return. And it doesn't work that way. You know? Thank you, Vinny. I am very happy. I'm really the happiest I've ever been. I have really no complaints. Megan, oh my goodness, how are you, my friend? Nice to see you. Happy to see you. Oh, thanks, Mark. I got my nails done today, and I love glass nails. So the near future is the Knight of Cups, opening your heart. Open your heart to love. Like, what do you have to lose? You know, we have one life to live. I believe in reincarnation, but we have one life to live that we currently know of, right? What do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Overgiving backfires, Tia. It really does. Bob just said, I never noticed that I was an overgiver. Many people don't realize that they're an overgiver until they're absolutely worn out, exhausted, and feel taken advantage of. Like how many people, like I guarantee you if I asked you, yeah, Jen goes, former overgiver, a hand up. Hi, Kayla, nice to see you. I'm seeing a lot of people I haven't seen in a while. Happy to see you. You know, like how many of you feel like there's no reciprocation in your day to day? You know, you chase after friends, you chase after family members, you chase after relationships, you know, and they're not returning the love in the same way. So it's something that's so common. Oh, you're very sweet, Mark. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. But yeah, we have to open ourselves up. We have nothing to lose. Nothing to lose. One life to live. Better live it and enjoy it. And if you get hurt, learn from the experience. That's really what it comes down to. You got to learn from the experience. And you got to build a solid foundation, which takes time. Nothing is going to happen overnight. I think the issue is that when we watch shows like The Bachelor or Love is Blind, which is starting actually just now, especially Love is Blind, you know, everybody wants this instant gratification of like, oh my gosh, I love you. You're my person. Oh my goodness, look at the chemistry we have. This is so amazing. We're going to be together forever and ever and ever, and it's going to be the most amazing thing. It takes time, it takes effort, and it takes work. Oh my goodness, Jenny, how are you? Nice to see you. Yeah. Well, they go hand in hand, Paul. Like giving and receiving, it really does go hand in hand. I'm not saying it's always going to be 50-50, but there has to be some sort of reciprocation. Yeah, fast starts give you a false sense of connection, and then the disappointment that will come later is hard. Yes, everything requires work. That's the thing. Nobody loves the idea that it's going to take patience and effort, you know? It's not easy. But again, nothing is easy. Working out isn't easy. Dieting isn't easy. Love isn't easy. You know, careers aren't easy. Everybody wants what they can't have most of the time. This is your, hi Manny, how are you? So yeah, you know, the wolf. How hungry are you? Hungry like a wolf. How hungry are you for new things? I'm well, thank you. Sont bons tes ongles? Tes ongles? Yeah, it is very rewarding, Tia. It is very, very rewarding. Well, Melody, you're asking, should you give a chance with Mike? It depends on what the circumstances are. Like, how many chances have you already given? Or is this a situation where you've never given a chance before? If it's that situation where you've never given it a chance before, give it a chance. How do you know? But if you've given multiple chances and nothing has changed, then remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. You know? So, let's take a look at the suggested approach. Suggested approach. Everybody's favorite. Temperance, patience, forgiveness, letting go. Something is brewing, and alchemy is turning something into something else, right? So I always say, take what you've learned from the past, apply it to the present so you have a better future. If you're not learning from the lessons of your past, your relationships, then you're going to get more of the same old, same old. So we're having some pretty deep talks today. Yeah, Manny, it's a collective. It's a collective reading. When Jupiter enters Cancer, that brings so much luck. Got a new job, I have a new car. Oh my gosh, Jenny, I'm so happy for you. Congratulations. See, you got a taste of something good. I agree, Pickles. Okay, so Pickles just said, I think that, okay, so the best relationships you'll ever have or find is when you start as friends and then work the relationship to become best friends. Well, yeah, you want to be best friends with somebody. You want to be able to like laugh and have fun together and do things together. And of course, I mean, like you want to do spicy things together as well. But yeah, you want it to like, yeah, to like grow for sure. Definitely. So suggested approach is temperance, which is patience, right? We talk about TTP like every day. I swear, you know this already. When I die on my headstone, it's going to say TTP. It's going to say trust the process. With a picture of myself, like eye rolling, right, to the universe. Trust the process, Kelly. Trust as I say this to myself every day of my life. hard, but worth it. The best advice I could ever give you, right? Oh, that's okay, Manny. No worries. No worries. I mean, like, I laugh. So many of you tell me that I live rent-free in your brain, that you say the same things, you know? All these Kellyisms that we've talked about over the years. You know, lately I've had people reach out to me saying, is the car in the driveway? That story really sticks to people, you know, because like if the car's not in the driveway, if there's no consistency, then, you know, what are we doing? You know, sitting here waiting and hoping that the car is going to show up, you know, somebody's going to knock on the door. You got to live your life. You can't wait. Becca, I appreciate that. You know, if I can bring a little something, then I know I've accomplished what I was, yeah, hack. I know, Christine, hard ass Kelly at its finest. But I do it out of love. I really do. You know that. It's because I want you to have it. I've worked so hard. I like talked about it earlier. I have worked so hard to push through even when it's tough. If I can do it, you can do it, right? So temperance, oh, obsession. Oh, there's the spiciness and the lusting and the thinking about it and highlight reel and imagination. How many of you right now have a little pip? I know I do. Who's feeling the pip today? You work so hard, then one thing makes you fall off the wagon. Well, yeah, it's tough, Manny, because you know what? Listen, you can have bad days, you can have moments, but you got to get up and go the next day. That's really what it is, right? So Mars and Scorpio, I have Mars and Scorpio in my chart, so that's probably true as well, right? Good point, Tia. Good point. Mars and Scorpio. Thursday morning was... Oh, man. I mean, what can we say? But everything is so slow. There you go. There's the turtle energy of slow. But, like, it's also protection. You know, sometimes, like we talked about earlier, when you're going too fast, it can fade just as fast, right? Yeah, pip week. It's been a pippy week. Yeah, I feel you. Becca said, I'm in full Five of Swords today. So when you say Five of Swords, you mean like headache and conflict and battle? Are you battling yourself? You know, you woke up this morning, therefore you have pip. There you go. It's every day of the week, Mike. Every day of the week. I get it. I get it. Let's take a look at what we need to know right now. What do we need to know? Sorry, I don't mean to laugh. I mean, the image says it all. Need I say more? The Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. Purpose and passion, a spark of energy, a rod of fire, so to speak. Who feels the rod of fire? Dude, that's like the universe knows, you know, like spirit knows. You just can't make that up. You just cannot make that up. You got to let something go. Yeah, all right, hands up. Hands up. Everybody's everybody wants a rod of fire or has a rod of fire vibe. You gotta close something out. You gotta let it go. You want that rod of fire? Close out the old shit. Don't allow that old stuff to come back and haunt you. Now, if you got old rods of fire haunting you, you gotta let those go too. Put them in the archive. Because there's others out there. There's others out there. So let's see. Triangle, choices. You know what I'm gonna say. Typical Kellyism. Are you in the old or are you in the new? I don't know about you, but I'm in the new. I'm not in the old. Absolutely not. I refuse. I refuse. So, all right. Let's take a look at the hope and or fear. Hope and or fear. The Sun. Yes card. Happiest card in the deck. One thing to ask for happiness, another thing to allow it. We need like a Kelly Lorraine bingo. Like how many times in a reading am I going to say, or, you know, when I say it, like short-term pain, long-term gain. One thing to ask for happiness, another thing to allow it. Trust the process. I probably repeat myself every single day. But seriously, like, are you allowing the good stuff in? Are you recognizing when something is good in front of you? So many people get what they want and they don't know what to do with it. And then they fumble it, and then they regret it later. And it's like, why have regrets? We're grown adults. What is it that we can't handle? If we're kids, I get it. Kids don't know any better. But as adults, there's no excuse. So let's see. What else do we need to know? Fantasy. The fear is that it's just a fantasy, The fear is that, well, what if I'm wrong? What if I get hurt? What if I make a mistake? You learn, you move on, you figure it out. Again, we're intelligent people. We're grown adults. We can get better as we go. That's how you learn. Learn by doing. Right? Fais confiance en toi et l'univers. Oui, absolument. You have to believe. You have to believe. What choice do we have? All right, let's see what else. Hope and or fear. Mistakes are how we learn. Failures are not bad things. I don't even like to use the word mistakes anymore. I know, Manny. I know. Man, just the fear is so paralyzing. But like, what do we have to lose though? This is what I don't understand. This is what I don't understand about society. Like we've generationally become people who are so afraid. I mean, I say this from a teacher perspective. I have been teaching for 21 years and I've seen it all throughout my career. This fear of making a mistake, of being wrong, or being judged for our decisions. Who cares? It's your mind, it's your body, it's your soul. Why are we so worried about what other people think? I used to care so much. I didn't want to hurt anybody. I didn't want to offend my family or hurt my family because I was getting divorced or because I wanted to change something. Now I think to myself, well, if you don't like me because of something that I need to do for myself, then that says more about you than it does about me. Like what impact should that have on my life? Everybody's going to do what they think and feel is best. I can't control what you do, and you can't control what I do, right? Be like Bob Ross, happy little accidents. Exactly. Yes, I am live right now. Yes. Yeah, let go of what hasn't worked and try something new, Kat. You're exactly right. Can't move forward while holding on to things that are behind you. The other thing that I always say is that for people, for example, who talk about wanting to write a book, I've said this many times, people want to write a book and they get writer's block and they stop writing because they don't know why they can't continue. The reason is because you haven't closed out the chapters. You haven't had hindsight yet. Like, why do you think when I talk on live every day that I'm not talking to you about my current day-to-day life or dating life? There's a reason for that, because I'm currently in the moment. Good morning. I'm currently in the moment. Hi, Veronica. I'm well, thank you. How are you? I cannot teach you something unless I have hindsight. So we could talk about everything that happened in my last 10 years very, very easily. Not because I'm in love with anybody, not because I'm stuck on it. It's because I have the knowledge, I have the wisdom. As I process more and more things on this journey, I will share them with you as I go. But if you cannot finish writing a book, it's because you have not closed out the chapters or the stories that you need to close out. Bob Ross is one of your cat's names? Oh, that's so cute. I love that, Jen. Does it make sense to you? Makes sense. Yeah, Angel, like the fear is when you do make mistakes is the reactions, and what makes it worse is a lack of support. Of course, we're afraid to be alone, But you're not alone. You're not going to be alone. I will say this. Hi, Kara. Oh, thank you. My new nails? Yes, I got my nails done today. And I love them. I'm so happy with them. Oh my goodness. They're like a really beautiful pink glass nail. But look, the spiritual journey is a lonely one. It is. I'm not going to lie to you. It is lonely, but it's lonely for a reason. Look, when I was going through my worst of my worst and my family didn't know, they really couldn't have helped me. They could not have helped me because they would have wanted to keep me in the energy that made them happy. Okay? I had to fight tooth and nail to leave my teaching career because my mother was a teacher. She said, you're crazy. She goes, you're going to leave that. You're going to leave your salary. You're going to leave your benefits. You're going to leave your pension. You're going to leave all that. And I had to like fight that constantly, hearing that I'm making a mistake. How could I do that? You're crazy. Like not like crazy, but you know what I'm saying? And I would just say that you have to do what's best for you, not what's best for everybody else. Yeah, crazy smart. I mean, I appreciate the support that I have now from my family, right? But I had to work really hard for that because initially when I was, wanting to divorce, wanting to sell my home, wanting to leave my career, wanting to move, I had resistance. If I would have had their support, I don't think in a way I would have made the moves that I needed to make. I had to do them myself. It's the same for you. You have to do them yourself. You do. It's up to you. It's not up to anybody else. Nobody can do any of this for you. You have to decide how badly you want something. And I look back at the last 10 years of my life, I have made some huge moves. I had somebody at work tell me the other day, because you guys know I'm back at the school that I taught at. And, oh, thank you, Linnea. You're so, so kind. It's nice to see you. Hi, Alex. There was a teacher at school the other day on cafeteria duty. And he said to me, we started talking, and he said, Kelly, I remember when we used to talk about these things like 3 years ago before you left. And he said, you've got, I won't use the word he used, you've got guts. You've got guts. Well, basically said you have balls you had the balls to do it. Hi, Sarah. Like, you had guts, because how often do you see somebody walking away from a permanent position that makes amazing money with a great pension and benefits like that? But I knew in my heart of hearts that I had to make a move, because that was what was best for me. I needed to grow. I needed to change. I needed to embrace something different and go on another journey, Exactly. I know what you mean. Abjeet, I know. Hi, Cindy. How are you, my friend? Nice to see you. So yeah, all I'm saying is that sometimes we think we'd love to have all that support, but the people who want to keep you in the energy that you're in, they're not going to give you the advice you need to actually make the moves, So that's why it's a lonely journey, because only you can do these things for yourself. And there's the anchor. Your hope is that you're going to find stability, but your fear is that you're going to be stuck, So be careful with that. Only you can save yourself, 100%. And it's the same kind of thing in relationships. Look, relationships are not about somebody else doing something for you or like fixing you. This is about, I bring my best, you bring your best. Like two people, like I keep saying, two people have to decide that they're going to do this. Because it's never going to feel, like I said earlier about making decisions, like it's never going to feel right. You just have to decide, and you just got to try. And if it works, great. If it doesn't, that's okay too. You're only going to get better, Hi, Marta. How are you? How are the kids this year, Cindy? They're good. They're good. They're very sweet to me. You told a guy friend that he told you you told him, what did you tell him, Christine? I'm curious. What specific part? I'd love to know what he said was wrong. Because that could tell you a lot about him as well and where he's at, right? So let's see what is the probable outcome based on this energy. This popped out of the world, completion of a cycle. I told you, something's got to end. Thank you, Nancy. Like, you retired from 14 years in property management because you saw the changes in the board and you knew you couldn't work with those people. Exactly. Sometimes you just got to make a move. You just got to make a move, So I know it's tough. You're saying your ex-wife took the house and the kids. That's not easy, but there are ways to look at it. If you're in anger, if you're in bitterness or resentment, it's not going to make anything better either. Because if it's truly about the kids, then people wouldn't argue, right? They would rise above. They would rise above any of that BS, right? That's the thing I don't understand about divorce, especially as a teacher, is that the effect on children is unbelievable. If you're saying bad things about your ex, they're saying bad things about you in front of the kids, using kids as go-betweens. I don't understand that, because kids don't ask for those things. So if it's truly about the kids and wanting the best for the kids, then people will not weaponize children. Because there's nothing worse than having that burden on a child. And when I go to school and kids tell me things, believe it or not, kids know. They know. If you think they don't know, they know. They share things all the time about what's going on. And it's sad sometimes. So be aware of that. The world is completion of a cycle, letting go, going to the next level. That's what we need to do right now. Yeah, it does, Jen. And you know that it's you do such an amazing job with your boys, you know. It does stay with them for the rest of their lives. I say this respectfully, you know, we are a product of the environment that raises us, right? Now, I got in trouble for saying that to my mother when I was a teenager. I probably shouldn't have said it, but it is true. That's why it hurts so much, because it's true, right? We learn things at home, and you know, we have to be mindful of how we speak. Thank you, Joe. I appreciate that so much. Sending you lots of positive vibes. No, I'm Canadian. I'm Canadian. Abjeet. Distracted. Don't let yourself get distracted from going to the next level. Don't let anything get in your way right now. Your mom always put the burden on you by saying you'll be like your dad. Yeah, that's tough, Matt. I'm sorry to hear that. They do, Jen. Your boys are wonderful, and they do deserve the best. And so with that, let's see. You say that all the time, Holly? Yeah. Hi, blessings. How are you? The loneliness can be hard, but you know what? We are not alone. We are not alone. You know, one thing I love about our online family is that this has been a place for the last almost 5 years now where people can come here and share things and realize that so many of you are experiencing the exact same thing, a spiritual awakening, deep soul connections that are meant to change your life and be catalysts for changes, right? I can't wait, Matt. I'm looking forward to meeting you. So, yes, I've been very well, thank you. Matt, a question. I can do like private readings or personal readings, but right now we're just sort of in the middle of a general collective. Hi, Civilization, how are you? Do I believe in God? You know, I do. I do believe in a higher power, absolutely. I'm definitely more spiritual than I would say religious. I'm not necessarily religious, but I do believe in a higher power. I do believe that, you know, it's written. You know, just like in The Alchemist. I don't know if any of you have read The Alchemist, but Maktub, it is written. You know, we're going to get from point A to point B. That's a given. Okay, your soul contract, you're going to go from point A to point B, whatever that soul contract is. The decisions you make along the way will determine how quickly you get to your abundance. So Matt, the link is in the description box or in my bio. If you go to my bio, my website is kellylorraine111.com. Or you can send me an email at kellylorraine111@outlook.com. So let's see, what is the last card here? House. Interesting. Maybe some of you are thinking about moving. Some of you are thinking about where you belong. You're thinking about your boundaries, even. Like, what are your boundaries in this next level that you're going to, this new adventure that you're starting? What are you willing to accept and not willing to accept? I am a teacher, yes. Yes. Teacher by trade. You're welcome. So, I mean, lots to think about. We had some deep talks today, as per usual. I would say I don't know if there's ever a time in one live that we don't have some kind of deep talk. Oh, I appreciate that, Matt. Thank you. That's very kind of you. Oh, Sarah, how are you? I'm sorry. Yeah, I've been on here for a little while. Let's see, about it, just an hour or so. You're welcome, Sarah. Sarah on YouTube, Sarah on Instagram, right at the same time. It's like when we get Jen and Jen over here. What's new in Kelly's world? Oh, what's new in my world? I'll tell you what's new in my world that I haven't mentioned to you guys. That I signed up. I know I'm going to sound like a crazy person here, a glutton for punishment. I signed up for a course on like social media, like studying analytics and data. Data, because I'm really fascinated by social media management. So I'm a French teacher, an English teacher, and business teacher by trade, Abjeet. I do know Capricorns, Matt. I do. You'll open up and don't go back. Good. Capricorns have a fear of moving forward, so I want to see you make some moves, Matt. Yeah, so I'm taking some courses on social media, understanding data, marketing, branding, all things that I'm very interested in, have always been very interested. I've always been very creative. Never stop learning, and it is a big industry. It is, and you know me, I mean, I love new ideas, and I thought to myself, it kind of fell into my lap, actually. It wasn't something that, like, I don't know, I don't know, it's a long story, but these type of things excite me. It's right, well, Kat, you're a Capricorn, of course it's up your alley. Every stat, every number, every angle, you Capricorns love data and feedback, so thanks, Jen, you too. You're an Aquarius Capricorn too, so you're right on the cusp. You're married to one. Yeah, and you're so right. It's frustrating and aggravating. No, I think it's love. I think they're lovely, but they just need a little push sometimes to get out of their heads, right? Oh, Sarah, I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yeah, but as a Virgo, I like data and analytics too. I like understanding things, you know. I like learning. I was saying this to my mom. When I told my mom I was going to take this course, you know, she said to me, she's like, I'm not surprised. There was a time, like, oh, I don't know, over 10 years ago, that I was taking some courses, and my mom was like, why are you taking those courses? You don't need them. And now she understands all these years later. She's like, you're like your father. You like to be creative. You like to learn new things. Well, yeah, they don't like to be pushed. This is true. This is true. Yeah, Matt likes to learn about music. I mean, I'll put it this way. I'll put it to you this way. If you know the joke, you know the joke. I'm the same way though, Kat. Once we get started, there's nothing to stop us though. I know, that's very true. Oh, I would love that, Josie. Absolutely, I'd be happy to do one with you. I love learning. Especially when I'm passionate about something, and I am very passionate about social media and helping people, teaching. So yeah, I'm so blessed that you guys give me that opportunity. I mean, I couldn't do this. Yeah, it's mercurial energy. You're right. As a Virgo, you know, I couldn't do this without you guys. If you really think about it, I can't just sit on here and talk to myself. I've been so blessed that I get to talk to you, and you teach me things. You inspire me. Whenever I'm in sessions, I've probably said this to so many of you along the way. You know, you inspire me with things. You help me every day. So I'm thankful. Super, super thankful for all the time and effort. So, anyways, I better get going. I'm going for dinner tonight with a friend, and I gotta do some filming probably at some point soon. Thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it. Amazing, Matt. Sounds good. Yes, it's lovely to catch up for sure. And guys, don't forget that we're doing the full moon Zoom next Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be talking about the full moon in Aries. Thank you, Kat. Thanks, Jen. You too. Hi, Nick. Am I going to try a new place? Probably not. We always go to the same place. She's my work bestie that I've known for a long time. We always do our birthday dinners together, and so we're doing my birthday dinner tonight. Thanks, Veronica. You too. Yes, Sarah, nice to see you, even just for a little bit. Hi, Gustavo. We're gonna have, it's a little restaurant chain close by. They have a lot of they have a wide variety of foods, so it's pretty easy to go there. Hi, Christy. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be nice. We'll probably have some sangrias. No, it's not a pilot friend, a plumber friend, an Uber friend. No, it's my work bestie. This has been a good distraction. I'm glad. I am. Yes, I am a tarot reader and teacher. Oh, thanks, Happy. That's very kind of you. I appreciate the compliments. You're going to a friend's barbecue? Nice. Did I show off the nails, Nick? Yeah, look at my new nails. They're sharp. They're sharp. They're sharp. Watch out. Watch out. These are a little dangerous because if you've got long nails, you know you've got to be very careful when you're washing your face in the shower. If you've ever unfortunately made the mistake of putting your nail accidentally up your nose and then have a bloody nose, that's happened to me multiple times. Although I'd like to think I've learned my lesson. Always be careful. That's the disclaimer when you have really sharp, pointy nails. But yeah. I'm sure we could all, those of us that have long nails, could compare notes on that topic. You know. Aries energy, claws. Mars and Scorpio, claws, Nick. No rumors, Mike. There's no rumors. All right. Well, thank you, everybody. And yeah, yes to the nails. Have you done it before, Becca? It hurts. It hurts like hell if you've done it. Yeah, Mars and Scorpio. You're going to go eat something, play guitar? Amazing. Good for you. Thanks, Angel. I'm glad I could help with your anxiety. All right, everybody. I wish you a wonderful rest of your day, and I'll talk to you all very soon. I send you love. Okay. Thanks, Nick. All right, I'm going to say goodbye to IG first. Thank you, everybody. I send you so much love, and I will talk to you all very soon. Okay, bye. Okay, YouTube. Thank you. I appreciate your time, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.